Samsung foldable fans, buckle up. This past week has been a wild ride of leaks and speculation. First, we got our best look yet at the Galaxy Z Fold 7, and then the Z Flip 7 followed suit. After a relatively minor update with the Fold 6 and Flip 6, the big question is, are things actually looking exciting this time around? Well, yes and no. Based on these leaks, 2025 could be a frustrating year if you were hoping for a radical redesign. Samsung seems to be sticking with its familiar playbook, but there are at least a few noteworthy upgrades, especially for one device. The other, not so much. Since we're still early in the rumor cycle, take everything here with a grain of salt. But if these leaks are accurate, Samsung's next foldables might have some surprises in store. Whether they're enough to keep Samsung at the top of the foldable market, though, is a different question entirely. At first glance, the Fold 7 doesn't look like a massive leap from the Fold 6, but dig a little deeper, and there are actually some exciting changes under the hood. The biggest and most obvious upgrade, the display size. Samsung is reportedly increasing the inner screen to 8.2 inches, which would make it the largest book-style foldable on the market, beating even OPPO's Find N5, which has an 8.1-inch display. Since the Fold lineup has stuck with 7.6 inches since the Fold 2, this would be a pretty significant jump. And even with that larger display, Samsung is also supposedly making the Fold 7 thinner than ever, just 4.5mm when unfolded, compared to 5.6mm on the Fold 6. That's a noticeable difference, though it still falls short of some of the slimmest competitors. Another major change that could make a big difference, the crease, or rather, the lack of one. Samsung Display recently showcased its new creaseless foldable panel at MUZ 2025, and if Samsung decides to use it in the Fold 7, this could be a huge step forward. For years, Samsung's foldables have lagged behind Chinese competitors when it comes to crease visibility, and this new panel could finally put them on equal footing. Reports suggest that when placed side by side with a Z Fold 6, the difference is night and day. While it remains to be seen if Samsung will actually include it in the final device, it would be a major win for the Fold 7 if they do. And then there's the camera upgrade, a change that's long overdue. Samsung might finally ditch the aging 50-megapixel primary sensor that's been around since the Fold 4 and replace it with a 200-megapixel main camera. That's a huge leap, and if true, it could give the Fold 7 a real boost in the photography department. While the Fold series has never been known for having the best cameras, this upgrade could help Samsung close the gap with other flagship devices. Now for the not-so-exciting part. While the display, thinness, and camera upgrades are promising, the battery and charging speeds remain painfully outdated. Reports suggest we're getting the same 4400 mAh battery and 25 watts wired charging, the exact same specs we've had since the Fold 3. That wouldn't be as big of an issue if the competition wasn't so far ahead, but when you compare it to devices like the HONOR and OPPO with nearly 5600 mAh battery, 80 watts charging, it's hard not to feel a little disappointed. Samsung has made impressive strides in foldable durability and software optimization, but battery life and charging speed continue to be its weak spots. And if you were hoping for a fresh design, well, don't. The Fold 7 is expected to stick with the same overall look we've seen since the Fold 4, with only minor refinements. While not a deal-breaker, a more noticeable visual refresh would have been nice. After all, a lot of foldable competitors have been experimenting with sleeker designs, while Samsung has mostly played it safe. So, what's the verdict? The Fold 7 sounds like a mixed bag. On one hand, a bigger, thinner, and less creased display is exciting, and the camera upgrade is much needed. But on the other, the unchanged battery and slow charging speeds feel like a letdown, especially when other brands are pushing the envelope. So, is it enough to make you upgrade? Are these changes exciting, or do you think Samsung is playing it too safe? Let us know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care.